Alrighty guys, welcome back. It is officially December 8th, even though you're watching this in January. So I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody rang in the new year on a positive note. And I'm bringing you to an all new state park for the channel, Shawnee State Park here in Bedford County. And you're going to be seeing probably 3 videos from here over the next couple weeks. So if you're a fan of this area, or maybe you want to visit this area, maybe these videos will be helpful to you. So anyway, like I said, it is December 8th, even though this is coming out in the new year. So this will be the first park in 2023 for the channel. If you're new to this channel, which we've had maybe 400 or 500 new subscribers in the last month or so, I'm trying to visit each and every state park here in Pennsylvania, and this is a new one. So this is state park number 18, and I'm going to be showing you what we're going to be trying to do here today. It's around 2 p.m. and it gets dark here in Pennsylvania now around 5 p.m. So here's a little map of the area. Fairly decent sized state park, a little over 3,000 acres. Hopefully you guys can see this, but here's the cabin here where we're standing, and we're going to do a little road hiking down to this Lost Antler Trail here. It's only 0.8 miles, and that's going to be the video for today. So if you're curious maybe about this cabin, $40 a night. You can't really beat that. Take a little peek inside of the mess I made. A couple beds, and that's about it, and a table. No bathrooms, pretty primitive, but there is heat, so that beats tent camping. I will admit I've been a little bit lazy over the last couple months, so kind of weaning myself back into this whole thing. But yeah, we're gonna hopefully try and go out and make a solid couple videos for you guys out there. So state park number 18, Shawnee State Park here in Bedford County, Pennsylvania. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video. So let's go. What do you say? Well, we are officially heading to the Lost Antler Trail now, and I can honestly say this is the closest to an abandoned state park I've ever been at. Look around, this place is a ghost town. Nobody in the cabins, nobody in the yurts. There's one RV up ahead here, but I'm on the hunt here for the Lost Antler Trail, and see if we can find it here eventually. It's 2 p.m. It starts to get dark here around 5 p.m. So we got about 3 hours to play with. It is hunting season, and that is the reason why I'm pretty much decked out in orange right now. So we are gonna head up this road here and hopefully run into the Lost Antler Trail. So I'll get back to you in a second. Well, besides the sounds of a few squirrels here in the distance, this place is absolutely dead quiet. Pretty eerie. Like I said, it's like a ghost town out here. Having a little bit of difficulty trying to find the Lost Antler Trail, but I think it should be just up ahead here. If I'm wrong, then we'll have to backtrack a little bit. So we'll see what we run into here at good old abandoned Shawnee State Park. All right, well, After a little bit of searching, we found the Lost Antler Trail here at Shawnee State Park. And here we go. First official trail of 2023 for Maxim Outdoors. And a short one to boot. Only 0.8 miles, as I said probably 3 times already. So yeah, Shawnee State Park here in Bedford County, Pennsylvania, kind of south central Pennsylvania if you're not really familiar with the area. If you didn't. December might be one of the toughest months as a filmmaker to come out here and try to capture the landscape. As you can see, it's pretty drab out here, lots of browns and lots of grays, and it makes making these films a bit challenging. But I'm going to touch a little bit on the history here of Shawnee State Park. Established back in 1951. In terms of other state parks, it's fairly new. As you know, we've been to Promised Land and some other state parks that were established back in like 1901, 1903. So fairly new state park in Shawnee State Park here, and fairly large state park as well. Almost 4,000 acres, 16 miles of trails. So a lot of opportunity to do pretty much whatever you want out here. And it's also named after the Shawnee Native Americans that used to call this area home, as well as the Shawnee branch of the Juniata River that cuts through this area and eventually is dammed here, forming Shawnee Lake. So no blazes on this trail, kind of just self-serve little area out here. I'm sure probably a lot of hunters use. But yeah, just showing you some of the landscape here in Pennsylvania in December. Not too exciting, no wildflowers, but hey, you always have history. So maybe we'll get lucky and run into a deer or two along the way here before it gets dark. Well, as we head further into this trail here, picking up some traffic noise. Just in front of me there is the turnpike. You can actually see some 18-wheelers rolling on through. This trail is pretty interesting though. On the right side here, you're kind of lined with these old oak trees along the way. And on this side, a nice little pine thicket. So, like I said, I'm sure there's some good hunting opportunities out here if you're into that kind of thing. Squirrels, I will say, are all over this place. I've seen probably 20 different squirrels so far on this trail here. So we're gonna head on down towards the turnpike there that you can hear in the distance, and eventually we'll be curving around to the right and heading on back towards the campground here. So a little trail update for you. Alrighty, well, as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the turnpike here, and I did make a little observation here that this trail is absolutely loaded with these. If you're not sure what these are hickory nuts, and we're surrounded by hickory trees here now. and that kind of explains why there are so many squirrels in this area. So these hickory nuts are actually too tough for deer to break through. I guess their teeth can't, you know, chew through these, so they're left behind pretty much for the squirrel population. So that explains why there are 100 squirrels out here. So yeah, a little tree ID, I guess you could say. Some hickory nuts here, and we're almost to the turnpike, so let's go. First ID of the year, some hickory trees. All right, well, I believe this is going to be the closest we get to the turnpike here as we start to meander our way back up the hill towards the campground, which means we're probably around halfway done with this trail. Big old log pile here, and we're kind of in a little holler here as we start to ascend this hillside. Yeah, pretty uneventful trail, but you'll have that. Not every trail can be 5 stars, but a good way to start out the new year. So let's say goodbye to the turnpike here for a little while as we head on back up to the cabin. So I don't know why this caught my eye, but one thing I've never talked about on this channel is these balloons. I was on the other side of the creek here, and I noticed, you know, something a little weird, a little shiny on the other side of this creek here, so I hopped across and checked it out, and it's a balloon. And that kind of brings up a good point. You know, you always see like ceremonies and people releasing balloons for loved ones or graduation or whatnot, but a lot of people never really think about where these balloons actually end up. And there you are in the middle of a state park where wildlife are out foraging for food and whatnot. But yeah, it's something to keep in mind next time you want to release some balloons. You know, they go into the environment and can potentially, you know, kill wildlife. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna pack this out, and yeah, so don't let balloons go. Well, I'm kind of weaving in and out of the trail right now. Just pushed out one of the biggest cottontail rabbits I've ever seen out of that brush pile right there. And as you can see, it is officially starting to get a little darker out. The sun has said goodbye for the day. And here in Pennsylvania in December, it's almost completely dark out around 5 p.m. I want to say it's probably around 4 right now, so still got a little while before we get back to the cabin. But just like going down and checking out these little creeks and whatnot, trying to find some deer sheds maybe from last year. But what a beautiful December day. You can't really beat it. 50 degrees out, and yeah, so we're gonna get back on the trail here. Got a flashlight just in case, but should be all right. It is approaching the shortest day of the year. We're just about 2 weeks away from that. It'll probably be dark here in PA around 4:30 that day. But yeah, like I said, 50 degrees in December. Can't really beat it. All right, well, we're gonna continue the ascent back up the hill here. All right, well, we are continuing uphill here, away from the turnpike still. And if you look closely and you know where to look, not everything in December is, you know, brown and dead. So over here we have what are known as privets, these little tiny blue berries. In the fall they're actually green, and if you look closely through this thicket here you can see some red ones. But yeah, these are something called privets, and long story short, you don't want to eat them. They will cause some severe stomach aches and nausea, maybe even vomiting. But yeah, they are still here, and the leaves are still green. So not everything here in December is dead. So a little cool find, another little plant ID for 2023. And just like that, we are back on asphalt and have officially completed our first hike for 2023 back into this abandoned vacant campground. Little fact about that though, it's extremely empty right now, simply due to, well, obviously it being December, but this is the last weekend that you can actually camp in Pennsylvania state parks. So if you're not familiar with it, these campgrounds all close the last weekend of rifle season here in Pennsylvania. So come Saturday, these campgrounds will be all shut down, all winterized, bathrooms closed, probably gates closed, and yeah, and they'll reopen in I think it's either March or April for the first weekend of trout season. So pretty cool look at the campground here, as it is just dead quiet and empty. Really cool actually. So that's gonna wrap up this episode. First hike of 2023, short but sweet. We saw a little bit of wildlife today, some squirrels and a rabbit. So hey, better than nothing. 50 degrees in December, as I said before. Hard to not go out and enjoy this weather. But yeah, if you're new to this channel, thanks for checking it out. If you're a long-time viewer, thank you even more. From the bottom of my heart, it means a lot that you're watching these videos and giving me support. So that's gonna wrap up this video. If you can give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you aren't, or if you're new, and leave me a comment. Maybe tell me your favorite state park or one that you want me to check out. All right, Maxim Outdoors signing out. I will see you guys next week back here at Shawnee State Park as we go look for some old ruins and a covered bridge. All right.